Did you know that demons live under the sea?
Release the Kraken!
Well, at least from the world of the Bible, people used to believe that demons lived underneath of the sea. You see this being reflected in Psalm 74:14, where it says that Yahweh crushed the head of sea serpents and that he crushed the head of Leviathan, and he gave Leviathan as food for the creatures in the desert. Now, Psalm 74 is a creation psalm that is talking about what happened in the beginning. And Psalm 74 is saying that in the beginning, Yahweh defeated sea monsters that lived underneath of the sea. But you also see this idea being reflected in the New Testament when Jesus walks on water. When Jesus walks on water, the disciples get really scared and they say it is a ghost.
I don't see anything!
What are we looking for?
And Jesus has to reassure them, and he says, "Do not be afraid, it is I." But the reason why they thought that Jesus was a ghost is based on how ancient Israelites saw the world. In the ancient Near East, people used to believe that the earth was flat, and underneath of this flat earth was the sea, and underneath of the sea is where people used to believe the land of the dead was, or the land of Sheol. And Sheol was a place where demons lived. So in the mind of the disciples, when Jesus is walking on the sea, Jesus is walking on the thing where demons come out of. And then Peter says, "Lord, if it is really you, command me to walk on the sea with you." Why does Peter say that? Because people used to also believe that demons were able to shapeshift. People used to believe that divine beings in general had the ability to change form. You see this in Genesis 18 when Abraham sees 3 men and 2 of the men are identified as being angels, and Abraham addresses one of those men as Yahweh. Well, all 3 of those men, they were divine beings, but they were clothed in human flesh. You see this idea in Hebrews 13:2, where it says, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for in doing so, some of you have entertained angels unaware." And so when you read that story about Jesus walking on the sea, from the cultural context the story was actually written in, the disciples, from their point of view, they believe that Jesus is a water-walking, shape-shifting demon. Now, if you want to learn more about this stuff, I have 2 books called Secrets of the Bible from the East. They come in a bundle, and you can get my books by clicking on the link in my bio. And if you find this absolutely interesting, you can even book a call with me, and I can talk about this with you in more detail. You can do that by going to the link in my bio as well. And if you didn't know, now you know.